Hey there, welcome to another installment of Star Citizen. I've been doing some Evocati testing, but now that Star Citizen is in the PU, I've been able to take some footage and talk about some things I've been dying to, and one of those is the first-person mining. And I found some surprises that CIG did not reveal in their videos. So I really got excited about two things in Star Citizen. One was the group mission ability and the first-person mining. I really wanted to see what that was about because I do like the mining. If you're going to go mining, here's some preparation tips.
Are you prepared?
First, get yourself a backpack. It's the Max Flex backpack. So if you're looking under torso armor equipment, you're going to find it there. It's in the Max Flex group, and you'll see it as the rucksack. Pick up a couple oxygen pens and a couple med pens. I really didn't need to use these when I was out, but I could easily see running out of oxygen when you're first-person mining and maybe needing to use that. Also get yourself some flares. You might find yourself in some caves, and the flares can be very helpful, if nothing else, finding your way in and out. I did find that a lot of things are in limited quantities. They do respawn, but a lot like the tradable goods that take time to regenerate, a lot of times someone would come in, buy 100 flares, and there wouldn't be any for anybody else. So you may need to wait around for some of these things. Now, all three of those things, the backpack, the pens, the flares, those can all be bought at Port Olisar. What you're also going to need is a multi-tool. Now, there's only two places that seem like they sell the multi-tool. One is Levski out on Delamar. The other one is at Lorville. So go to one of those two shops and get yourself a multi-tool. One thing you also don't want to forget is the mining tool attachment. Right now there are two attachments available, but only one seems to be usable in game, and it is the mining attachment. There's also another one there, but I don't think the gameplay is there yet. I think that's probably for salvage. Don't forget to open up your equipment and equip your tool into the utility slot. That's where your mining laser, this multi-tool, has to go. And once it's there, don't forget to add the attachment to it, or else you'll get out there and realize that it doesn't do anything.
Your safety.
You don't have to put on your backpack right away, but before you're mining, make sure your backpack is on as well. Otherwise, you won't be able to pick up one or two items, and that's not really enough when you're out to do first-person mining. So I left Levski with my multi-tool, and as I was leaving, I thought I would just quickly check the little gaseous asteroids that hang around Levski. I went there to see if there might be any minables attached to those. I left my ship, floated over, but as I approached the asteroids, I realized that they were still in this very low render state, and I just knew I wasn't going to find anything there. But hey, it never hurts to look, and that's why I'm doing these videos, to maybe save you some of that time.
I know what you know.
I then traveled over to Yella.
You yellow!
And I thought I might check out the Asteroid Rings, because in the CIG videos, they had shown asteroids with these little clusters of minables attached to them. But I didn't mine the asteroids. Instead, I wanted to go down to the moon itself and see what I could find down there. I wanted to know if those mineable clusters would also appear on the rocks on the surface of some of these moons. So I went down. I went to just the first rock that I could find. And as I approached it, it was nothing spectacular. It was aluminum, a little bit of gold. But I thought, hey, if there's a mineable attached here, that actually might make this rock worth stopping and investigating and spending some time on.
Time, Dr. McCoy, is the one thing we do not have in abundance.
I checked out the rock. There was nothing on it. And I thought, well, don't get discouraged. It's just this one. They probably don't appear on every rock. So I got back in my Prospector, took off, scanned some more, and I found some more rocks that were out there. Here's where I got surprised. As I approached my first scan, I realized that it wasn't a single rock it was picking up. It was actually picking up a small little cluster of rocks. This got my interest.
Interesting.
Either this was some residue from someone else mining and just left some chunks behind, or maybe this is what I was after. As I got a little closer, landed the ship and got out, and sure enough, this was a little rubble field. of these mineable clusters. So I wasn't just finding one, I was finding 5 or 6 of these things here. This was great. And what was wild is that they weren't attached to another rock. They were just sitting all by themselves. So I checked them out. This whole little rubble field here was about 5 chunks of this aphorite. So I broke down the rock and took all the little pieces. Now the breakdown was pretty similar to what they've said you do before. You can scan the rock, find out what it is, then you can turn on the laser, and you do have to adjust that power level to what's going on. Now I did a little bit more playing around here, and I'm going to talk later on, it probably in another video because it'd be a little bit much here, about some of the mechanics of the mining, but it was pretty similar to that you would do in your ship. But I did go ahead and break it down, and what I had to do is once I broke it down, it exploded in a good way, and you had to go and pick up all the little pieces by hand. And it was pretty easy to actually overlook a little piece, because they're all pretty small. But I checked a piece of it out. It's actually a pretty cool looking little crystal, I thought.
Feel the power of the dark crystal.
And I was able to get a fair bit of it in my backpack. Now here's one of the things I realized having found this cluster. I would not have found this little rubble field of these minables by hand if I had not had the Prospector. I can't think of a way that it would have shown up these things on the ground. So the Prospector, for the win, was able to take me here and give me the key to be able to find these little minables. CIG in their videos said that one of your best bets was to go to a cave and find them.
So in order to find one of these rocks, the safest bet is to find a cave?
And that's true. If I just had the Mustang, the Aurora, something like that, I would probably need to pick up a mission that would take me into one of these caves, give me the location so I could find it, or perhaps just fly around and maybe find a cave at random.
I'm not responsible for their unpredictability.
But the Prospector, with its ability to be able to find ores, was able to hone in on this rubble field. I thought this was very clever by CIG. You can be a first-person miner with any ship and just go out and pick up these things. But the Prospector allows you to hone in on them, which gives you that extra advantage, and it gives you something to work for in the game. With more permanence in the game, this Prospector is going to be great, not only for finding mineable rocks with the Prospector, but also these little first-person rubble field here. And I had no idea that they exist. This was quite the find for me. In my next video, I'm going to go over some of the mining mechanics that I became aware of, different kinds of rocks that I found, what they sold for, how much total I brought home, and some other specifics. If you liked what you saw here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be talking to you later.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.